Yo, 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 Nothing's Normal podcast. It's your host, Spinks, back at you with another episode. I say this a lot. Y'all probably hear me. Y'all probably tired of me saying this, man. I'm smiling ear to ear. It's definitely, for me, on a personal level, a special episode for me. Musically, just regular. This is a special episode for a lot of reasons. We're going to get into it. Before I get to today's episode, do some shout outs, man. Shout out to Green Leaf. This episode is brought to you by Green Leaf. We in Green Leaf right now. If you want to shoot anything but a pistol, book Green Leaf. Nothing's Normal Tees is on deck. Get with us. Shout out to GBA. But enough about me, man. Without further ado, who I got sitting to the left, man?
What up? It's Marcus Stokes.
It's Monopoly.
21 grams.
Yes, sir.
21 Grizzly. Let me shake your hand first,
sir,
brother, man.
most definitely.
Proper handshakes, man. Real Farrakhan like today, man. But 21 grams. Wow, this has been, for me, a long time overdue with 21 grams, man. I know these guys a long time. Watch. I remember the early days. We're going to get into it. But with that being said, man, 21 grams. Where y'all from, man?
Big Greenburgh.
Greenburgh, New York.
You already know, yeah.
Duh.
Town.
For sure that.
Really?
Now, over here at Nothing's Normal, as y'all probably know by now, we got this policy where we don't like to start the story on page 50. We like to go to the beginning of the story to get a viewer's a good idea of who y'all are, where y'all came from, and, you know, some of the steps y'all had on y'all path that got y'all to where y'all got to and where y'all going, man. So, you know, with that being said, man, where at in Greenburgh y'all from, man? One at a time. We're going to go, you know, Marcus first, then Larry.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That's all good. I'm
just gonna show you the history. This is my boy.
It's all good.
Sure.
It's all good.
So I'm from the hills.
Yeah, for sure. You from the town, man. That's it. Say that shit proudly.
Most definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. Hills, baby, right behind Travis.
Yeah.
Travis Park. If you're from the town, you already know.
Yeah.
Very simple. Yeah.
What about you over there, my man?
I'm from Manhattan Avenue, 10603.
For sure. Now, you know, like I said, we're gonna start with Marcus. Growing up in Greenburgh, man, how was the household like? I like to get into the household because, you know, with black people in general, it's a lot of trauma there. But, you know, a lot of us, some of us, you know, the trauma didn't start with music, the street, movies, or whatever else it is we use as an excuse for our trauma. But, you know, how's the household looking like for you, man? Mommy, daddy, auntie, uncle? How's the household for you?
It's interesting you say that because I was having that conversation with somebody recently, just like, oh yeah, I ain't really have too much trauma, And he was like, yeah, but your pops passed when he was 5, and it was just like, oh yeah. We kind of like put those things aside. We like, that's just, it's life. It is what it is. But like that it shaped me. I see now, like, you know, I'm getting older. I'm still healing from some of the stuff that took place from that and being there when it had all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the reason I bring that up is because for me, I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, it was good. My mom's took care of me. I ain't really want for nothing. I ain't really even have like financial problems till I start getting older or whatever. Like, so, you know, for me growing up, it was good. But you know what I'm saying? I'm figuring out certain things that from my childhood that I still need to heal and work on. You know?
Before we get to Larry, I can identify with that too. You know, my pops died when I was 5'2", and you can't really miss something you never had. But as we get older, we get wise and we understand the roles that each person play in our life. You realize how important the pops is. So you're starting to hit late. It's a trauma that might not hit you right away until you get older. So I feel like
for you as a father now,
for sure,
man,
absolutely.
Like, oh, this is you're doing the things that you missed out on. So you like, oh wow, this is what I'm missing this whole time.
Shit.
And it's crazy. You know, my son got my name. I got my pop's name. You start, for sure. You know, definitely. Manop, man, how's the household like for you, my man?
The household was good. I was raised by my grandparents. So my grandparents, both of them raised me. My mother wasn't in my life. She was in and out of jail when I was young.
Sure.
And I didn't really meet my pops until I was a grown man. But the household was good. It wasn't a lot of trauma because my grandparents were my parents. I called them mom and dad. They were all I knew. So I didn't really want for nothing other than, like, both my grandparents were handicapped, so I couldn't really go to the court with my grandfather. But they held it down. And, you know, in the town, the community, we all a family anyway. Everybody take care of everybody. So if it was my uncle, my boys, pops, and everything, they filled the void. So it was good.
It worked out. Yeah. Shout out Uncle Mark, man, too.
Big shout out to Uncle Mark.
Big shout out to Uncle Mark. Growing up in Greenburgh is definitely family orientated. It's a small community. A lot of people, everybody got some sort of ties to everybody. Very fun area. I could say my recollection, it was fun, man. Sports, it was a lot of things, man. What's some things y'all got growing up in that town, you know, that we love is Greenburgh, man? Some things you did coming up.
Yeah, hooping at the center, playing for Coach Benji.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Summer camp at the center. That was
FGCC.
Yeah, because I was that was when I started coming outside. I mean, when I started coming outside, it was like, yo, who you related to? I said, am I supposed to be related to something? Like, I didn't realize, you know what I'm saying? That's why I started getting outside. I'm like, okay, yeah, I see a lot of people, a lot of family out here, and
you're recognized by your last name in the town.
Yeah, it's a good environment to grow up in. I feel.
So the sports, that was your thing? You was playing the ball, playing the sports?
Yeah, basketball.
What y'all do up there, man? Did y'all have like killer carrier? Did y'all play them type of games? Or it was more like hooping? Like I never really asked nobody from up there, like, damn, what y'all did up there?
I said, by the time I came outside, I was like 12, 13. Yeah. So for me, it was basketball. If niggas was doing other. It's Travis Park, so other things were happening.
That's a nice park.
Other things were happening at Travis Park.
Yeah.
I was just at the court, you know what I'm saying? It was like, you look out if something, you know what I'm saying?
For
like
sure.
That type of time.
Yeah, that's love. That's dope. Yeah. About you, man, Mr. Monop?
I played sports. I wasn't really into sports. That wasn't really my thing. But I definitely played at the center. I played on the football team. Yeah. I played basketball at the center. Shout out to Dad's Club.
Sure.
But you know, like the melting pot of the block. It's funny you said Kill the Carrier. We would play Kill the Carrier, Butts Up.
Yeah.
Butts Up.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. But I was really into music early. I found that. I was in drum corps at the center.
Yeah.
So I love the percussion. Shout out to Mike. But
sure.
So a bunch of things. But once I found music, then I was good. That's what I was good at.
Yeah. As far as the schools, I mean, did y'all go to all of the Greenburgh schools? Like I said, I know these answers. It's hard to interview people that you know, but you know, some of us grew up, some of us moved, some of us go to private school. How does school treat y'all, man, up in the town, man?
I was Central 7 from day one, so I started at the Mansion and I graduated from Woodlands.
For sure, yeah, so sweet.
I went to private school from from kindergarten all the way up until high school. I came to Woodlands for high school.
His real name's Terrence. My boy. Yeah.
It was to me that it was a good it was a good balance, especially those years for that type of kid I was. I was able to kind of like freely learn certain things and be isolated, but also like have a different type of identity to my blackness, because it was like. It was all I had. It made me stand out.
Yeah.
So it was like, what is it? It made me like curious about the nature of it and even society in general. And then by the time I got to Woodlands, I was like, oh my God, it's comfortable. I was cool with them, you know what I'm saying, at the other school, but like it was a different level of culture and familiarity. It was just like, oh, I missed this. I didn't know how much I missed this till it was ratchet.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Woodlands. I got me my first day in that moment.
It was good. It was good for sure.
Coming up in school, man, what were some of the first things that, you know, y'all might have wanted to be coming up? Like you said, you got into music early, Larry, but
damn.
Not
Larry, it's all good.
You know, but you know, even for you, like, you know, what's some of the things you wanted to be when you actually grew up, man?
Yeah, I mean, everybody had hoop dreams.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I had the hoop dreams. You know, niggas had to wake up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was one of the things that the height stopped growing. And, you know what I'm saying? Niggas started getting faster and shit. I was like, okay, yeah, this might not work out. And then I was already in love with music at the time. I kind of wanted to be more of a producer and behind the scenes.
Well, that's nice, yeah.
And then, you know, but I was like, all right, in the product, Kanye was out.
Yeah.
I was like, he doing both. I'll eventually get to the production aspect of it.
Yeah.
I got the equipment right now, but I could work on my writing, and then, you know, it just kind of picked up from there. I was like, I got married to it real soon.
Yeah, it was like Fruity Loops back then, the little beat maker shits like on a computer, you know, that the LimeWire, Kaza, them downloading. Yeah. What about you, Larry, or you was already knew what it was?
Nah, until like 10, I could have swore I was going to be in the WWF.
Yeah,
I was a huge wrestling fan, so you couldn't tell me I wasn't going. Shout out to my boy Riley Foster. We had WWE dreams, and once you realized that wasn't going to happen, like I said, sports was cool. It just I didn't have the size, and it wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
So once I saw Snoop put out the Last Meal album. Remember when Snoop had his lingo, the for shizzle my nizzle?
Yeah, you're a real hip hop phenomenon.
So I remember the video to that. They was like rollerblading like this big ass Chuck Taylor shoe. That's what a party was. And Greenburgh's real familiar with the roller skating. So I'm like, oh, this is the coolest nigga ever. I want to do what he's doing. So he had his own lingo and stuff like that. So I'm like, this is what I want to do. So ever since then, that's why I knew what I wanted to rap.
About 10 years old, you knew what it was.
10, 11, yeah.
Who was some locally? When I asked both of y'all, who was some of y'all influence coming up? Whether it was like you said for the hooping, and even you, Monop, with the music, man. We're gonna start with you, but like who was some of the guys locally? Because like I said, I did an interview. My legend list don't start with celebrities. Like we got a lot of legends in our community, in our area, that that helped us get from here to there. That I still love and honor to this day, regardless of where the growth is at. Like. They still big bro and big sis and auntie and unc to me, like, So let's start with you, man. Who's some of your influences coming up?
Around the end of high school, right after high school, that was the first time I heard about Gemstar.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to Jim.
I'm like, so he's from around here.
Yeah.
That nigga's like, he's around here. That nigga doing that is around here. Okay, so that was that for sure.
That's tough. That's a good one.
The earliest shows I seen. Like, what was it, like 2008, 2009, Greg Self. Greg Self had the first time I seen him.
Greg, man, yeah. That's a day one.
And I was like, okay, yeah, like, he's just doing it, it's active, like it's coming from good cloth.
Yeah. Those are two good rappers.
Two great local legends.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, it was different when you actually see them because, like, we're from 914, so you got the Locks, you got X. So we hold them with so much pride because we share the same area code, but from the town it was different. So Greg Self was a big one. Sure. I remember being in high school, he was doing like music videos on MySpace, and I'm like a sophomore, so I'm like, how is he doing this? Perception was everything. Gemstar lived in my building. He was a big one. So was Sidney Sweeney.
Yeah. Shout out to Unc, man, Up North Records.
Shout out to Unc, Up North Records.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, they threw a cookout at Kittyland one time, and they was giving away the shirts, the Up North shirts and the CDs.
I
thought that was fire. Sid had the Benz. He was like P. Diddy of the town to me.
Ice cream trucks, all.
Yeah, had the ice cream truck.
That nigga.
So Sid,
that's a good one. I'm glad you mentioned him.
Yeah, definitely. T.O. was a good one.
For sure, the Criminal.
Because he was on that album with them.
Hell yeah.
And
Frosty.
I
heard all of the archive. Vim.
That's Timmy Forte, right?
Yeah, that's Timmy.
Okay, Timmy. I
sure.
don't remember a lot, but he was nice.
Yeah.
But Negay.
Yeah.
And another one that was real influential to me was my cousin Kendrick Cash.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, come on,
So they had Digiwax between him and CL.
Whack man.
And Kendrick was always like hands on with the music. Like I remember, cause me and Kelly are cousins, Mob.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I would go to his crib. Remember Music Generator, the video game? You could make beats.
Yeah.
He would be in the crib just playing the game all the time, and he was so invested in the music. So he was so influential to me. I really wanted to be down.
It's so crazy because what people don't know is like we recorded personally, me, Ice, we recorded our first songs ever at your crib.
Yes, sir.
That's why this shit is it's crazy. We did the Certified Gangsters beat. We was coming to your crib like every week trying to lay a verse, man. That was crazy. Those were some good times.
Great times, man.
Yeah. Okay, so those are some solid influences, man. Those some good rappers. Like I said, I remember hearing tracks with them guys. They did the Bad News freestyle. All them niggas used to rap. I feel like everybody in the town rap. The Bad News freestyle was one I'll never forget. I think it was like Scrap, Jim, Bots.
Bots, that's another good one. Shout out to Bots.
Yeah, Bots was killing shit too. Yeah, they wilded out. Those some good times.
And shout out to my boy Rev too. Rev is definitely
Rev is dumb nice. Rev got one of the hardest verses I ever heard. That 10 Hut freestyle. I tell him this often.
Was that the one, the Green Leaf freestyle?
Yeah.
When we're in the lime green?
No, that was hard too. That was outside. Now, he did a freestyle. Mikey actually recorded him at WCC.
Okay.
This is when Rest in Peace Brian died. Like I said, I don't really want to say the line or none of that.
Okay.
But he dropped one of the hardest lines I ever heard in my life to date. That was it was like him, Smitty. It was like they went on a little run real quick when Mikey had the studio at WCC.
Okay.
They dropped the Rebel. They dropped a couple million.
Shout out to all of them.
Yeah. All right, so it's safe to say 21 grams. Y'all a group, man. Anybody else missing from the group as far as 21 grams? We're gonna get into who you started rapping with, both of y'all and things of that. But 21 grams is this is the whole package right here.
What you see is what you get.
Okay, yeah. before we get to the past, how did y'all link up and make that decision? Because you was rapping forever. You've been rapping forever. You know, what did y'all? What happened that made y'all say, "Oh, let's merge and be a squad"?
You want me to start? You want to go? So he came to high school, what, 05, 06, Woodlands?
Yeah, 10th grade.
Around 10th grade. So I met him. He was a new kid, and I remember I teach him Miss Gruffy.
Shout out Miss Gruffy.
Yeah, shout out Miss Gruffy, legend in Woodlands.
For sure.
I think it was a history class. I don't really remember. It was history, but for whatever reason, she allowed us to do like a poetry thing. So
it was there was a poem back in the day called "A White Man's Burden."
Okay.
Shit, you know what I'm saying?
Tough.
Yeah.
And it was like we had to make something based off around. It was propaganda. It was like take that concept and then make a poem out of that. And you know, everybody chose different people, different races, different type of struggles and things that was real. And
Schools need more of that actually, rather than algebra and all that dumb shit. Like I like that. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did the Iraqi burden. You know what I'm saying? At the time, we was over there in the Middle East.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother you know what I'm saying? But
For sure.
I wrote from that perspective. And
let me finish for you. Let me get to that.
Yeah.
So she let us do the poetry thing. I was known in the school for rapping already because I had rap. We already had a little collective. I didn't know him for rapping at all. So I really didn't have much expectations. So he went. I was going to close in my mind. I'm like, I'll go last. He goes. I hear him, and then it's like in my mind, it's like I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? In my mind, it's like the bell rung after he did his speech. I didn't even go after that because he killed it, and it was so different from what we were doing as a collective. Shout out to Cutter, shout out to Riley. But it was just different. He was coming from like kind of like a common perspective with his, and it was just different. But I'm like, how could we blend that together? So after class, I went to him and tried to tell him like, yo, I got a studio at the crib, come down. He wasn't really with it at first, but eventually.
It's not how he said it.
How did I say it?
After
that was my perspective.
He was like, yeah, we could use a Kanye West type nigga like yourself. You know what I'm
But see, I'm gonna give it a ball. That's a compliment.
Yeah.
Like, it just back then, you calling nigga Kanye back then, like you saw how he used to call himself. He used to call himself pretty lame. He did it to himself, but Kanye is that guy.
Yeah.
So you wasn't with it at first? You like,
No, I wasn't. I also like had something in my mind, like everybody got their own crew. So I was like, my cousin Brega was like one of my first inspirations to like.
Sure.
I was writing already, but I was like, all right, well, if he's doing it, he was doing it like on a level, opening up for state property and shit like that. So I was like, okay, like I could just jump on the bandwagon. He can't tell me no. I'm a auntie on him. You know what I'm saying? He can't say no. So I was like in that kind of realm, and then you know what I'm saying, as the years went by, and I was seeing
fucking with Monop these niggas. I'm going to fuck with state prop.
I was seeing how he was grinding, and how serious he took it, and I'm seeing everybody in the school, and I'm just saying like I was like it's different with Monop. He got a different type of just that it factor.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, and he's still like, yo, you could come pull up, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no, we got cool too. Like, we got real cool junior year. Nas and Jay squashed it. So I was a big Nas fan, he was a big Jay fan, so when they squashed it, it was just like, yo, we got real cool after that. And then so by senior year, it was just like, nah, this is what I wanted, this makes sense, and we locked in.
So y'all got, what year did y'all graduate? I don't want y'all to,
we graduated 08.
So y'all been rapping over a decade together. This ain't one of them 20.
Not together, but like collectively.
But collectively,
yeah, because we were all like individual artists.
Right.
So in high school, I had Punchline Records.
Yeah.
But so it was a unit.
Cassidy, that was our nigga. We come from the DVDs.
That's that era of hip hop. Big shout out to Pro, because I meant to shout him out for inspiration.
For sure, that was day one shit.
I want to rewind that back because when I got to Woodlands, I was into rap, but the way he would rap, like he's funny as hell to this day, and I'm sure he could still rap. But how he could just get the punchlines off and with the jokes and the current topics, that was like foreign to me.
Yeah.
But he was so advanced with that, so I just wanted to add a little bit of that. So I would just be around him. Yeah. And they would be battling in the cafeteria and all of that stuff. So big shout out to Pro.
Shout out to Pro. And like I said, when I met you and stuff, you was rapping with we call him E40, Kayvon, Cutter. Did y'all have a name back in them days? Or y'all just
was it was Punchline. Punchline Records, Punchline AT.
Yeah, that was
and Pro.
Yeah, Pro too.
And Jossie.
Shout out to Jossie. We was gonna touch on Jossie, man. Shout out to my boy, man. He just recently moved and all that safe. You know, I wish you well. Okay. Fast forward back to 21 grams for a minute. Shout out to Pro though. That's the broski.
Yes, sir.
When did you guys record your first track?
Together? in 08.
Okay, so that's when y'all. Okay,
We did. So junior year, I put out a mixtape before school.
Right.
And then we linked up later that year. Our senior year, remember Wise Project?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So in Wise, we decided to do our Wise Project together on, what was the topic? To try to get signed as an artist. So they gave us Mr. Lewis. Putting together a demo. Mr. Lewis, shout to Mr. Lewis, Atlantic Star. They brought us out to Def Jam in the city.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, when y'all went there.
So that was a thing. And that was when we did our first record together. We, what was it? Do you remember the record?
I was gonna say, what was it called?
I think it was called True Player.
Yeah, I think so.
True Player. Yeah. It had the Usher sample, True Player, for real, True Player.
Yeah.
I think that's the first record we did on Wax together.
Okay. And in your opinion, what would you? This might be controversial. I don't know, but what made you stop Punchline and enter 21 Grams? Anything specific? Was it life or? What happened, like anything specific you could touch on that?
The name specifically, I don't think we could use that name.
Right.
So when you're in high school, you just use the name.
But even the faces, the figures, like I said, you was Punchline. That was a whole group in itself.
A collective, yeah.
Versus now 21 Grams, where you were Mr. Stokes.
A lot of times when you're in high school, people may think this is for them, and then you grow, you evolve. It just might not be for you no more.
For sure.
So a couple of the people didn't want to rap no more.
Right.
It just wasn't their thing. They went on to have families and kids and stuff. But me and him, we just really stayed dedicated and true. And it was actually his idea, because we were collectively like artists, solo artists, around 2011, 2012. He was just like, Kanye and Jay just did Watch the Throne.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I remember that was a big thing to see like two solo artists kind of like, you know what I mean, like reunite, like to unite.
Yeah.
And he came up with the idea, like maybe we should do something. And we hadn't put out anything kind of since high school, other than a couple freestyles. But he came up with that idea, and that's when we started the union. Like that's what you know now is 21 Grams.
For sure. Famous music influences for both of y'all, man. We call them Common. I don't know if you're a fan of Common, but
Definitely.
As of today, a 21 Grams representative, forefront. Like who are some guys that'll get you going on? That's in your playlist.
Yeah, I mean, when I was young, it was like different eras. So when I was young, like Biggie, Mace, Bad Boy, Rule the Radio, the shiny suits, mad colorful niggas look like Power Rangers. So I'm like, all right, I like that.
Yeah.
And then I got a little older, and I wasn't listening to as much hip hop until like maybe like you get teenage years and everything.
Yeah.
So then 50 come out.
Yeah, 50.
Everybody listen to 50. You want to be around the girls. So it's like, all right, 50's come. And then Kanye came out.
Yeah.
Mad Soulful. And then Kanye, that put me on to like Tribe Called Quest, Common, etc. But Nas One Mic was the record that I was listening to a lot of jazz.
That's a good one.
One Mic came out. I was like, yo, whatever that is, that's crazy. And now I'm reinvested in like hip hop as a thing. Like let me see what's going on with that.
Sure.
Nas, Outkast, both of them.
Definitely.
Huge influences.
Sure.
AZ, Raekwon. I mean, the list get crazy. Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, etc. Boyz II Men. Yeah. That's all I could think of at the moment.
Papoose. Oh, Papoose. Yeah, Papoose was
and
killing
Saigon.
shit.
That mixtape era.
Yeah.
Pat and Saigon.
That was an important era.
Yeah.
This era now, they don't know that. I just feel like that was my favorite era. I feel like our age, we was born in the late 80s, but y'all, early 90s, we caught the best of both. Because like the millennial 2000, 2001, the Jay-Z's, the Nas's, that whole era, and then even before them, like you said, with the 90s, the Raekwons and all of that stuff, like we can understand all of that shit. So we know what it was like. They can't hit us with that back in the day, rapping, they can't hit us with that shit because we know about all of that. Like now they probably don't. Jay-Z, who? If you ain't on social media, you pretty much, you ain't known. But, what about you on the music influence tip, man? You've been killing shit lately, too. We gonna get into it.
Appreciate it. It was the Bad Boy era.
Yeah.
So Heavy, all of that whole collective.
Yeah.
Jay, DMX,
sure.
Really big on X.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, LOX. Snoop Dogg was a real big one, like I said earlier. But Cassidy, Lloyd Banks, that era. Like that
J.R. Ryder.
Drake, J.R. Ryder, Stack Bundles. Joe Budden. Big
Budden.
shout out to Joe when he
Joe Budden
was so nice. I learned so much about rap from him. But that era, man, like that formula they were using with the punchlines, like that cadence, I mean, you kind of don't see it no more, but it was It was a great one. If you was there, you remember it.
Yeah. He was big on Cash. We was ringtoned out.
And that's the thing, when we dropped, when we graduated high school in 2008, it's the birth of the ringtone era. So music changes. So we didn't come out with anything to maybe 2011, 2012.
Soulja Boy kind of fucked it up.
It's like dance music now. So like we pride ourselves on being true MCs. I remember we went to a session one time in Yonkers in like 2008 or 2009. This guy, the engineer's like, you guys are trying to be like real MCs. You guys should just do a dance song. Do the White Plains. real street nigga. We like,
do the White Plains.
Like, do the White Plains. You guys want to blow. Like, y'all got it fucked up.
He wanted you to get light and all that shit.
Nah, and when you see a nigga like that, like he was like really conflicted. He was like, yo, y'all trying to do this, all this shit, man. If I was y'all, how old are y'all? 20? Y'all should just do the White Plains and just, you know what I'm saying, do the White Plains. Like he was acting down that shit like that. Like,
you can imagine? You had somebody to change who they are. Change their identity.
Yo,
That's what's going on though. That's
I think he had good intentions. I think he just didn't see. He's like, you guys are young.
Realistically speaking, I mean, I guess he wasn't lying to y'all. Because the world just got so, it just changed like that. It just changed. But like you said, 06, you had like Dipset was killing shit. Dipset G-Unit, then here come 07 Soulja Boy. We chicken noodle soup, and not chicken noodle, the Superman and all of that. That shit
Jackie.
Chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, Aunt Jackie.
I credit to when like 50 lost the Ye. When Kanye and 50 came out the same day, and 50 kind of, once Kanye took off, the South was already kind of bubbling with Jeezy, but I feel like New York kind of lost it, and that's when it went strictly that route.
Cause you remember crunk music? You had like Lil Jon and them. Like I mean, listen, it wasn't lyrical, but that'll get the party lit. But then, like you said, that shit just, you still had rappers that still kind of had this game in a chokehold, and then we lost. Not we, but you know, the rappers lost it, and it got crazy.
Yeah.
Who is the punchline king for you? I always want that.
All the time?
Yeah, for you. Like out of all of them, because they all got crazy lines.
That's a good one, man. I'm a go Kiss. Can I give 3?
You get 3,
want
but see, Kiss. The reason why Kiss is like the father. I mean, like that punchline era. Kiss is the godfather of that shit. But like out of like Cass,
Banks.
Let's say Banks, Joe Budden, Stack Bundles. I feel
Fab,
like
we gonna put
Fab,
Fab in
you gotta put Fab in there.
Okay.
You got to. Fab. Cause I'm thinking about DVDs. You got like J Mills. We caught all of this shit, bro. Damn. But nah, we gonna leave J Mills out of it. But like all the notable Cass, Fab, Banks, J.R. Writer. I guess you gotta put Buttons. Cause Buttons, you feel like Buttons is more punchlines?
He was diverse, but he's up there. He had some lines.
He had some. But then Game had lines too. Like everybody kind of had.
That's a good one.
Not everybody, but I just think punchlines. I ain't gonna say Joe. Joe could just rap his ass off. He had lines though, but I'm gonna just say out of Cass.
Papoose was.
Big Pap too. Damn.
I'll say.
Yeah, so give me 3.
All right, I'll go Cassidy.
Boy,
I gotta put Fab.
Got to.
Number 2, and then 3rd. Shout out my nigga Stack Bundles. Shout out to Jossie, but Stack Bundles was
that was Jossie man.
Yeah, so I got to give it up to Stack.
Yeah. What about you? Even though I would say, so matter of fact, for you, 3 conscious rappers that you rock with. Cause you give me more conscious vibes.
Yeah. I mean,
you woke. You know what I'm
saying? It's not a title that I put on myself, but I think where I carry myself in certain things that I speak on in the music, I guess. I get that, you know what I'm saying? But that's like you say that people gonna expect you to do certain things and carry yourself a certain way. And I don't really want, you know what I'm saying? Niggas might catch me in the Kennedys getting some French fries and they not expect me to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody got they different personalities. So you want to land just like all of us.
I get it, and I understand why. I get it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things like I don't want to publicly be like,
you don't want to put yourself in a box.
I'm the conscious nigga and everything like that. Because a lot of times if you hear conscious rap, niggas that like I'm a conscious rapper, should be trash.
Yeah.
I'm a rap. It could get crazy. Like so that's to be clear.
So
but no, I like conscious rap.
For sure.
I'd say especially like I'll go from that same time period about like how Common influenced me. That B album that was produced almost exclusively by Kanye. I think Jay Dilla had one on there too on that album. I can't remember for sure, but Common he shifted how I think. Papoose had a lot of consciousness in him.
Definitely.
All them
That's
low
what I'm trying to say.
libraries, you know what I'm saying?
Papoose is knocking niggas, he's knocking out battle rappers and shit like that. You know? Papoose, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's
like
a fact.
the conscious niggas that are conscious, beat you unconscious. Nigga. Like it ain't no game. Like it wasn't like, no shot. That's like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming to holler at you when I need to get my mind right. The punchline shit is, nigga, I'm on my way to Kitty Land to knuckle up. I gotta listen to that. But when I'm about to go, we gotta go take the regions too, broski.
Yeah, it's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? That's important. We ain't think about it back then, but now in hindsight, it's like, this is what we should have been more on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Common.
I say Common, if we talking that era, Lupe had just came out around that
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Come on, nigga. Kick push. What's wrong with you, guys?
Yeah, I like that. So, I'll say those three, Common, Papoose, and Lupe.
Yeah, that's tough.
That era was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I be loving these type of hip hop conversations with guys who actually rap and know the history. So I'm gonna also ask y'all both too. Top rap beef. Like what rap beef just completely you was just swamped with, like you was just on point. You needed to hear every disc. Cause remember back then it was the radio. The station, they playing that shit. Like I remember when Takeover came out. And I'm saying the specific day. When Ether came out months later. So for y'all, like, what was some influential rap beefs that y'all was,
The first one that come to mind is Ja 50, because 50's like the first rap superstar that me personally, I felt like I watched like blow. You know what I mean? Jay was already Jay when I kind of got into music. So, but 50 and Ja, that was a big one for him to take down Ja, because Ja was popping.
Ja was Drake before Drake.
The 336 album, I literally was knocking on. I never seen somebody knock somebody out from the top spot like that. And also the Jada 50.
We was remember that.
Yeah, that Checkmate. That was my ringtone.
Yeah.
That was my ringtone at a point.
Damn.
What's another one that comes to mind? And I would probably say Jada Beans.
I swear to God, I was thinking that while you were saying it. That was a tough one.
I'm a son kiss like the soda.
Make Jay to the moi. Put it,
Really kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah, that whole Rockefeller, the whole rock was nice, honestly. You remember Young Chris and them? They was all going at the whole D-Block. Then J Hood was rapping. Even J Hood was nice too. J Hood
was nice.
J Hood was nice. And he came at Banks though. Banks smoked him up though. But
shout out to Banks, man.
Shout out to Banks. It's one of my favorite rappers ever. Blue Hef. Okay, what about you? Top influential beefs.
I feel like the Nas and Jay thing woke me up. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just I don't know if I was even really paying attention to things like that. And that was like the first time like I gotta be like tuned in and stay what's going on. And I don't Ether and Takeover and Super Ugly, like all of that.
That was super
and
crazy.
How it lasted, like, cause you got when Nas did Last Real Nigga Alive after that, he kind of like broke down the history of it and him and Biggie having back and forth. Like I learned a lot from that beef.
Paying attention.
So that one definitely got my attention. That was like my introduction to a lot. I know he said the Jada, and I'm not the Jada and 50. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was a big one.
Back and forth went crazy, and him and Styles.
Styles was wild
Sorry,
too.
Miss Jackson.
With the Sorry Miss Jackson.
He violated. That was the days. Damn. Hip hop was just different. His shit told a story like you almost. I feel like I was at some of these events that they was rapping about. Oh, I ran into you here. Your man stabbed and I just feel like nowadays the music. It don't tell no stories. It's just basically you saying fuck somebody's dead person or I'ma fuck your bitch or I'ma do this, that, and the third. It's a lot different ways though. I felt like when they talk about running into each other at the Hit Factory and shit like that, this in the music, you feel like you're there.
It was real on site. Shout out to Cam too. I was such a J fan, but Cam
was that
going
nigga.
at Hov and it was real funny. He had a lot of
you gotta love it.
Records.
It's crazy.
So, you gotta love it.
And Cam was
even in the videos, he was just violating them. Cam was a comedian.
Cam was hilarious, man. Do you two got any projects together?
Me and
you and him?
Absolutely. We got four?
4 projects?
Yeah, first album came out 2012 for what it's worth. 40 Degree Days, Forecast, House Money. So that's 4 collectively. We're working on another one. I dropped the album Clear Intentions. He dropped the mixtape was collective before.
When it comes to beat selection, what do you got like a specific sound, or is there something that you're looking for? Like certain types of beats, like I said back, I forgot who I was talking to. Back in the days, you just knew who was producing. Like you knew a Just Blaze beat, so it's like you know what you're getting out of that. You knew an Alchemist beat. I can see you like killing. You and Alchemist, I can see doing some legendary work. Timberland. Who else was Kanye? You know,
Dre,
Neptune.
Had that signature sound.
Yeah. So you know, what's your process with that with the beat selection, or y'all just optimistic about it?
You saying how do we go about selecting, or just what's the process in general?
Or both.
Early on, we didn't have no access to real production, so we were just getting beats from YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's one thing about the town. We didn't grow up with no producers. I wish we did, because we could have kind of sped things up. But so it would just go off taste level. I would pick what kind of joints I like from like the era we were in, and we would just pong them off each other. And then by a second project, we met A-Dot. He's a producer from Third Project. Pardon me. A-Dot, he's from Boston, but he was signed to Wale.
Yeah.
So got connected with him through my girl, and ever since then, that's kind of been like our in-house producer going on, and we met a couple other producers around the way too.
Yeah.
So like I found my boy Maine.
Shout out to Maine.
SoundCloud. He from Dallas.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, but his style is real soulful and eclectic and experimental sonically too. So we started building. So him and A-Dot, they've been down for a couple of years now. A-Dot was the first person I was just like, y'all are crazy. I just want to help, you know what I'm saying, be a part of this. And so yeah, shout out to me, shout out to A-Dot. There's a couple other if somebody from Greenburgh, my man Jay Tedler, aka Boo Radley, he from the hills.
Throwback, shout out Boo Radley.
He out in Cali doing this thing right now, but he there's some stuff. There's another timeline where we start out with him.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother thing. But he's somebody that you're going to eventually see work with us.
You caught my eye with this. What do these mean anything? Are these any significance?
So this is green agate and this is Botswani agate. It's like healing properties, balancing energy, and this one is carnelian, and this one is like for leadership, speak, you know what I'm saying, your throat chakra, you know what I'm saying, being able to express yourself, carry yourself, leadership and things like that. I can't remember what these do, like the specifics, but I feel better when I got them on.
Yeah, I might have to get. Where you get those from, man? You got to order those?
Nah,
give me Aladdin. I feel like I seen these on the. I'm a big Disney guy too.
We'll talk. I got a couple spots. I don't want to make it hot. Yeah. I got you though. No
problem. Y'all, it's my man Marcus, man.
This nigga said Aladdin.
That was my movie. It was giving like the Jafar joint. Like I'm just like, damn, God, what's going on? Where's the genie at? I want to ask both of y'all. I like to ask a lot of the musicians about their creative process, man. Like I said, nowadays we in the era where a lot of the new artists, they don't write. They just going in, punch in, punch out. You know, you got your emotions, how you feeling that day. You know, you got your feel goods, your marijuanas, your alcohols. Some people like 50 girls in the studio. Some people don't want to be isolated. What's your creative process like? What's the best setting for you to get the best production? You know, the best music coming from y'all individually?
I would say just as long as I'm inspired. I definitely write all my rhymes. I'm not a person that's gonna go to the studio and just go off the top of the head, but live a little bit, fill my canvas with something, you know what I mean, some colors, and I could paint the picture.
For sure.
As long as I'm inspired.
When you say inspired, what's some things that inspire you? Like I'm feeling like I'm writing a verse today.
It could be anything. It could be a female. It could just be the way life is just going. You know what I mean? I'm uplifted. You know what I mean? Things is just moving. I just feel like it's time just to, like what Kendrick just said. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas.
That's a fact.
You know
Stop
what I
mean? Playing. That's that Greenburgh talk.
By me rapping so long, it's not hard to write. So like, I don't want to be cliche with my answer, but I could write anything.
Yeah.
But if I'm inspired, like to say something, like I'm heavy on conceptual songs. We both are. So I ain't really gonna rap about nothing if it ain't really like affecting me, especially now at this age in our 30s. So I'm highly on like some shit that I feel like could last. They got replay value.
Sure.
That you could play this shit a couple years and it's still gonna hit. It just wasn't for the time.
Yeah.
So just like that, I could hear a dope album. I could watch a rap battle and be inspired. You know what I mean? Just something to get the juices flowing.
Yeah. What about you, brother?
I say, for me, it could happen anywhere, anytime. I'm always open to inspiration, so it can come from anywhere. It could come from a movie. It could come from just the day that I'm having. If I'm intentionally like I want to get in the mode to write right now, I do like to smoke. You know what I'm saying? I might take a couple pulls, and I like darkness. So
Me too.
Yeah, if I can
Catch the vibe.
just it turns off all the other senses.
For sure.
So when that's just like I'm in the darkness, all right, now I have synesthesia, so I see colors. So if I'm in the darkness and now like I can kind of like disassociate from my physical world, now I can like start in the beat. I'll hear the colors in the beat, and then it's just start moving around like a laptop screensaver. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And I start seeing it like that, and then I get like my melodies, because it's like, all right, if I'm even if you're rapping, like the flow is a melody. So it's like, how am I being an added instrument to the production that's already there? And then to let the words come to me. Sometimes it'll be more word specific, I'll get to writing, and sometimes I might do a voice memo or just freestyling, and some of the words will be incoherent, mumbling and everything like that, but then I'll find real words in there and things that rhyme, and full metaphors and complex things will just be like gifted to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah.
A couple things I get from that. When you talk about darkness, that's what over here. Nothing's normal is everything that it says. Nothing really is normal. Like something that's completely abnormal for you might be completely normal to somebody else. Darkness is usually associated with like depression, not uplifting. Like, and I feel like I create the best when it's dark out. Like I'm the one with the shades down, getting my mind right. I'm not wild about light or too much light. I don't know. I don't really produce well with too much light. So like I find light in darkness. So that's I like that. I like that you said that. Yeah, I find light or if I'm going through something, a dark time, I'll come up with something inspirational when I'm in a dark time. So there's light in darkness, and it's real important that you get to know people, because I've known you for years, but this is like one of my first times us having a conversation, like outside of scratching the surface.
It's a build.
Yeah, I'm jacking. I'm big on energy, and I got a whole new perspective of you now. Like, you know, so I appreciate that. I appreciate that answer. Little blast from the past, man. I seen y'all on Sway in the Morning show a few years back, man.
Yeah.
Talk about it, man. Who lined that up? How does 21 grand some kids from a small town of Greenburgh end up downtown somewhere in front of Sway in the Morning, man? You know, we watched Sway since he had the dreads. He was
on MTV
hosting
back in the day.
MTV and all that, man.
I was emailing them for maybe a whole year.
What?
Yeah, I was emailing them like maybe 3 times a week for a year, just trying to get on that segment. And then
it's called Get in the Game.
Yeah. So you know, I some things it's just turning to like it's what I'm not expecting it. It's just what I'm doing. Like it's just a part of what I need. So I was emailing them for months, almost a year, and then I never heard nothing back from them. So I gotta give you like how. So I'm not even thinking of it. I'm waking up. I'm having a weird dream. Like my phones is going off and shit. I'm like, what's going on? Pardon me for cursing. I'm like, yeah. But you know what I'm saying?
My son cursed. He's 7 years old.
It's Uncle Elroy house.
Yeah. Oh shit.
But now the phone's going off, so I'm waking up. I'm late for work, but I'll be late. I was late for that job a lot, so I wasn't even tripping. I seen my phone, and I got a missed call from my ex. I got a missed call from my mom. I'm like, oh shit. So my mom. Somebody died. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, God, that's I don't know what it is. Why that was straight. I was like, oh goddamn. So then I'm like, my ex was like, yo, hit, you gotta call that. All right, Coleman. All right, so I called Monop, see what's going on. I called Monop, and then what?
Let me chime in right here. So we get a call. I get I work overnight. He worked during the day, so I get off work. Usually, you work overnight. You go home. You go to sleep. I get a call from a city number. Thank God I was with my boy Vic. We just decided to smoke and play 2K. So it's like 9 in the morning. I get a call, and it's a 917 number. They're like, "Hey, this is such and such from Sway in the Morning. We want to add you guys on the section on the segment today in like 30 minutes."
Today?
Yeah, today in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. He's like, we got the songs and stuff. So now I'm trying to call him. So I'm calling him like 10 times in a row. He's not picking up. Yeah. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. I call his mom. I call his girl. I'm like, where is he? Yeah. You know what I mean? He's still not picking up the phone. So like, they like, yo, we're gonna put you guys in like 5 minutes. So like, I'm like waiting on the line. We weren't actually there. I'm waiting on the line. He calls me back literally like 2 minutes before we go on air. So when I swap him, like I merge the calls. I think the first verse you might have heard was Sway.
The first voice that I heard was Sway. So I call Monop.
I didn't even get to tell him we about to be on the radio.
I call Monop and I'm
be ready.
It was like some waiting thing. I didn't know what was going on, but it didn't take like more than a couple seconds, and then I hear Sway start talking, and I'm like, "You on Sway in the Morning?" And it's this doing all the so I'm hearing all that, and I'm like, "This is an elaborate prank." Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on, and then Sway starts talking. I'm like, "Yo, is this really happening?" And now I'm like, mind you, I'm just waking up still too, thinking somebody dead. So now I'm trying to put everything. I'm like, oh wait, maybe this is real. Maybe this is real. So then when I jump on, and I was like, all right, yeah, y'all, you handle the conversation because I'm still trying to get my grips.
You know, Greenburgh, man. It's certain drugs that he's. Damn, my boy was. It's angel dust, homie.
But it all worked out.
Nah, we ain't gonna put that on my boy. God damn, what a dream. This thing. Yeah.
But he locked in. It all worked out though. It all worked out.
Yeah.
We won this segment. We got our record in rotation at Sway in the Morning. Sure. And that was huge for us because with just even coming up in rap or just being underground cliche or whatever. You could have all the talent in the world, but that's why like clout is so like in style now because you'll rather take a picture with somebody because it's like, oh, I'm next to him, they might be fucking with me. You know what I mean? It's all about perception, but perspectives. I'd rather have perspective.
Mm-hmm. There's no more reputation or perspective.
I'll say that to say that the cosign. So once we got on Sway in the Morning, it was dope to have somebody like that statue put his arm around you and be like, and validate you and be like, these kids are the ones because you could. How many years were we putting in work before we got on Sway? Maybe 5 or 6 years.
Come on.
But for someone at that level to be like, yo, I'm with these guys, you'll see now people want to be in tune with you or support you.
That's all it takes is me and Kurt was having this conversation, about how easy it is when you get to a certain level to throw a oop. It's as simple as a picture, it's as simple as a post. Yeah. But what he was saying is at that point, at that level, it's an affiliation. Mm-hmm. So to make, sometimes the brands might not make sense, I don't know, to affiliate. But it's that simple. As soon as Sway holler at your phone, get the ringing for the next month, for the next 90 days. But that's definitely what it is, connections, man. Which brings me into this Monday thing you got going on, man. Yeah. Let's talk about it, man. What inspired it? What is it called first, by the way?
Monop Mondays.
Monop Mondays, man.
I started it early this year. It was just about just being accountable, just holding myself to the level. Like if you rap. I lost my grandmother, my mother in 2023. So
rest in peace.
I was talking about being inspired to create music. I just wasn't inspired. It was just a heavy loss for me.
For sure.
And I kind of lost my way a little bit. Not lost my way, but I just wasn't inspired to make music. And going into this year, my brother, he was kind of like, he would always like, yo, come to the studio. Sometimes I just didn't want to go to the studio. Yeah. I just wasn't really feeling that way. So I just got in this year just like, I'm going to be accountable on myself. If you do something, do it. If you rap, show niggas you rap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of times we put out visuals in the past, and I feel like we let them die. We make some ill visual, maybe 2 or 3 a year.
That got heat, man.
And as an artist and a creative, you go through those slumps. You'll put out a dope content, and then after a week, you don't want to push it no more.
For sure.
So for me, it was just like, yo, I'm gonna be accountable. I'm gonna put out a freestyle every week, and then once I started, now I can't stop.
Yeah, so
I already said I'm doing it. I already said this until further notice.
Yeah.
So I wanted to stop after 3 now. Like keep going, and I'm seeing the content build. Even if I gain a new fan every video, a new follower, that's progress.
That's extremely progress. And I can say 21 grams when it comes to the 914, like, I'm not even gonna call y'all underground, but just, I don't even know if I even want to classify y'all, but when it just comes to being musicians, y'all group makes it, y'all get a lot, people respect y'all all throughout the county, and it makes it feel good, like, oh nah, 21 Grams, they from Greenburgh, so when you hear about the what's the other groups, I don't even want to give nobody no shout outs right now, it's about 21 Grams, but like, y'all being from the town, definitely, I'm like, oh shit, word? Yeah, they fire. And is that a hard, like you said, you rapping is second nature, but the endurance got to be getting up now. Your rap endurance, you putting this shit out every week, man. So that means you got to stay, your cardio got to be there.
Stay active.
You rapping.
But I wouldn't want anything else because it's like 10 years from now, make it or you don't make it. It's like, what's your legacy? Would I be comfortable? Like, I put in all the work and I'm good with knowing, you know what I mean? It's like, what's success to you? What's success to you? So I'm good with it. I'm down to put in the work because this is what I do. If you as good as you think you are, it shouldn't be nothing.
For sure. And seeing as he Batman right now, man, what's Robin got going on in the tuck, man? I seen you in the last video getting your
No, it's Superman and Superman.
For sure. Y'all be shake this man's head. He's not playing. Nah. I got like I said, I got a different
I like that.
outlet. I like that too. No minimization.
But yeah, I've been working on my solo album for on and off for like 4 years. Just trying to going through certain things.
I can't wait.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's things on there that I wrote before the pandemic even started.
Really?
So then you know what I'm saying? Like I've lost relationships. I've buried people. His losses is my losses. So that's in addition to, you know. So it's
everybody love his grandma. Come on.
We've been. It's been an interesting last couple of years. That's not even factoring in the pandemic, right? So all of those things influenced what I was writing at the time. I got a lot better at writing through those last couple of years. So I have a project, and it's reflective of my conscious mind and my subconscious mind during that time. So everything that I went through. So there's the bragging, there's the flexing, there's the lyricism, but then there's also the talking about what we're going through, and even what I'm learning and certain spiritual awakenings that I went through. So all of that is covered in different flower ways throughout the album. There's highs and lows, and the first singles that I dropped are kind of just reflective of that. So
sure.
You know what I'm saying? I got the No Context Umar, which was like it's a crazy beat. It's not my regular bop. It's a little different, but I almost wanted to come out with my first solo thing be something that was different, you know, and experimental and reflective of as chaotic as I felt during the pandemic. For sure. And like the beat is reflective of my producer Maine actually called it like post-pandemic overstimulation, right? Because we getting inundated with all this information. The conscious community was going crazy during the pandemic because it's like, all right, this is what's this. You should take this. You shouldn't take this. You need Seymour. Everybody start selling Seymour. Like it was
that's
that
a fact.
It was that type of thing, right?
Seymour is the new crack.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So it's that time period, and then at the same time, like I said, like just the personal experiences that I was going through. So therapeutically, I had to write to get it out. I've written. I got a lot of music that I'm sitting on.
You got a title for it? For the project? Or not even yet?
I can't. Once I get the artwork completely done, then I can let the title out.
Yeah. That's interesting that you say that, because like I said, we think conscious, like, y'all are human. We sometimes dehumanize certain types of people. Like, we ignorant where we think, like, if a nigga's not 10 toes in the street, he don't have pain. You know what I'm saying? And that's not true. And that's what, like I said, with Nothing's Normal, it merges humans, period. Like, we all got the same feelings. We just get them from different experiences. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that, man. As we close out, man, what's next for 21 Grams? Where can they find you? You know, where y'all see this thing going? Do y'all want to turn this into a record with 21 Gram Records, movies? I mean, what y'all trying to do, man? How y'all coming, man?
There's no ceiling.
For sure.
You can find us at 21gramsmusic.com.
Yeah.
Me, I'm at m.o.n.o.p on Instagram.
Yeah.
Monopoly on Twitter. But we're working on a new album. Expect a lot more content this summer and to close out the year. More Monop Monday freestyles.
Please do that.
More merchandise. I think we got a movie in the tuck that might be out in the summer.
I swear to God, we do our shit. Stop playing. Are we going? Yeah.
But a whole lot of more content coming out.
Yeah.
The album, I'm wrapping it up. It's for the most part it's done. I got a lot of I've been doing poetry heavy. I've been in the city. I've been going to Bowery and New York and different places, getting that ass, flexing my pen in that way.
Sure.
So poetry. The album is, like I said, the album's coming. Acting, whatever I could do artistically to express myself and everything like that. But I'm going for like rap shit. Like niggas need to know.
For sure.
Niggas need to know. Like it transcends any regular thing. Like niggas is not regular. So.
Not at all.
Yeah, they gotta
Before you close out.
I just something else before I close. I want to ask y'all too. What you about to say?
I was gonna say I missed one inspiration when you was asking about inspirations earlier,
Sure.
and I'm about giving niggas flowers. I know AJ remember this. It's you. I remember when you dropped your first mixtape. Before we even have our mixtape, you had Sus One hosted.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That was a co-sign, and that was big,
hard.
Spinks.
Yeah, that was tough.
That
I
was
appreciate
big. I
that.
didn't
Shout out
put
to
out
Kev Egger.
nothing.
He lined that up, actually.
That was big. I remember, what was it on that Piff?
It was on that
I remember
Piff.
listening to
I
it.
knew
Like,
hip-hop.
I was like, this nigga got Sus One. I wasn't hating, but I was like, I was like, damn.
He was in the video,
But
too.
he was in the video, the Floyd Mayweather joint,
Yeah,
and
we was wilding. Appreciate it.
but it's all about giving flowers. I gotta tell you that because
Yeah.
I hadn't put out a project before that. You had done it, like we put out joints, but
Yeah, a word.
that was a big one.
Yeah, where he come from. That was with Alex. Alex put that shit out.
Oh, real quick, we shout out to Tails.
Oh,
Big
that's
shout out to
Broski?
Tails.
Oh, yeah.
That's a real
Shout out
stand-up.
to Ice.
Yeah,
nigga. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Shout
That
out to the
nigga-
Brodies.
that
My
nigga-
righty and my lefty.
That nigga held me down multiple times.
Yeah.
In situations for no reason over the years.
Yeah.
At Stepping Act.
I know the situation. He went to Step,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? At Stepping Act
Hell
for a year.
yeah.
Back when we was playing with Benji.
Yeah.
And when I was in Woodlands too. Like later when he and multiple times in situations that he might not even remember. It was just nothing. But that
his memory's terrible.
it was instinctive for him.
For sure.
So we talk about
That's
like
what we do.
stand up niggas talking about being sturdy and everything like that. He
Yeah.
wasn't. It wasn't nothing that he got for it.
Yeah.
Asked for nothing. It was just who he was. So I want to shout him out too.
Yeah,
I know,
definitely.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
my
That shit-
brother.
I know. You know what I'm saying?
Both of them. That's
Yeah.
And like you said, those shit, Larry too. I mean, shit, but not, I got a lot of history.
Yeah, I mean, Ice like
Even when I
family,
was in
man.
Maryland, for sure. Definitely. Before y'all close out and give y'all final thoughts, talk to the people about both of y'all about staying original, man. Let them watch hip hop go through a million different phases. And I can honestly say y'all stay true to who y'all are musically. Y'all heavy on the lyrics. Y'all got good vocab, well-spoken individuals. Y'all never fell into the drill wave or, I never heard neither one of y'all say ops or, get involved in any of the new school stuff or So talk to the people about staying original. You might lose an opportunity or two or three, but you still here, standing strong, who y'all are.
Yeah. It go back to inspiration and influence. So if the people that we grew up listening to, the type of artists that we listening to, everybody's trying to be the best. Mm-hmm. So I might name 10 rappers, but all of them were trying to be the best. And all of them have a fan base that thinks that they're the GOAT.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, all right, if I'm not gonna try and be one of the 10 best, I'm gonna try and be the best. And that means experimentation, that means different sounds. I don't listen to just rap. I listen to wild different genres of music.
Yeah.
All of that is information that can be used, and I don't even know where this flow is coming from, an indie folk song from 1996, but it's on this rap song that I'm doing, and you're not even gonna put that together. But that allows me to be the best artist that I can be. So,
sure.
And I'm not afraid to experiment. He's always inspired. It was this fire. He's like, yeah, nigga, you out your fucking mind. That's crazy and everything like that. But he gave me that confidence, so put the battery in my back. So it's just like, yeah, like
brothers
whatever
do.
comes to mind, and if it's organic and I'm feel comfortable with it, then we gonna put it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my aunt, I'll say my aunt gave me a gem when I was like in high school. She said, master your craft and be the best version of yourself. Don't get caught up with trying to be anybody else.
Yeah.
Once you master yourself and you're the best version of yourself, you'll be just fine. And apply that to whatever you want to do.
And I'm attesting, you from the heart of the burg. Like,
Yeah.
you from, so and you had the best of both worlds. You know, you was babysat up the street, like so. You
Miss Laney,
Greenburgh was
out.
crazy. So to not, like I said, you I don't know. Have you ever been arrested or any of that type of shit? Like
nothing
shit, like
serious.
being from where you from. Like I'm from the other side of the town and getting into all kinds of shit in an area that you directly living in, and you still, you know what I'm saying, was able to see it, observe it, and make sure you didn't put your hand all the way in the fire. That's so I could agree with you with that. You did that.
You I appreciate that. That's love, and
for sure.
It goes to like your friend groups too. You know what I mean? It's rare to have like a community or like a village of friends like that you could stay tight with and be down with for years. Y'all got a good thing like that too, but that's rare when you get older.
You don't get it. Town don't really got that.
You see a lot of people that were cool. It's not really the same, but I chalk it up to that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's love, man. Final thoughts, man. 21 grams, man. Roll the B-roll out, man. How y'all coming, man? Talk to the people, man. Last thing, what you want to leave the people with, man?
It's gonna be a 21-gram summer.
For sure.
That's a whole fact. It's gonna be a lot of visuals, a lot of content. Be on the lookout for another 21 grams album. Be on the lookout for another album for myself. His solo album is fire. If you ain't got in tune with his No Context Umar video, please do yourself a favor and go watch that.
Yeah, a lot of art, and a lot of wordplay. So listen closely. You know what I'm saying? You could play other things and just let it play in the background. You might gotta sit down, pay attention to what we're saying. You know what I'm saying? You might gotta listen to it a few times. And yeah, it's a lot of that coming. A lot of poetry, a lot of art, a lot of you'll see.
Go check out Black Boy Joy too. That video.
Yeah.
Please.
Hey, I see how Monop lifted his man up. Check his shit out. Stop hating on your mans, man. Like, god damn. Stop doing that, man. Yo, nothing's normal. 21 grams. Signing out, man. Love, man.
Yes, sir. Love.
Yo, I love that. I love that.